Hi guys, my name is Beth. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I make videos on pretty much what's ever going on in my life right now. I'm going through my first pregnancy after going through some infertility struggles. I am a nurse who became an outpatient cardiac nurse a few years ago now, which I can't believe. So I make a little bit of videos on that as well. And we also got a new dog last year, so that's going to be part of the mix. So I kind of just make videos on a little bit of like whatever is what I'm going through at the time, and I just do it for fun and whatever makes me happy. So right now, like I said, I'm going through the pregnancy for the first time, so I'm a little short of breath. So I'm really sorry. Bear with me for this video. I did want to make the pregnancy updates and symptoms and stuff video and must-haves. I was planning on doing my nursery tour this week, but it's not quite done. There's like a couple little things that I need to fix and finish, so I don't want to do it until it's completely perfect, because I want it to be right. So next, that should be coming out in a couple days. I'm going to probably finish it this weekend, and then I will try to get the video up in the next few days, definitely by the end of the week. So again, I'm really sorry I'm short of breath. I'm currently 36 weeks pregnant, and again, this is my first pregnancy, and I'm swollen. I'm feeling all the things. So let me just have some water, and I will get into the video. So first thing I'm going to talk about is my pregnancy journey and symptoms and everything like that. So I get a comment last time on my video about different like TMI symptoms and stuff, so I figured I'll just talk about that in this video as I go through the other things. So the first trimester for me, which is weeks 1 through, which you don't know you're pregnant, but technically we'll say weeks 1 through 12. For me, because I did fertility treatment, I knew the day I ovulated to the exact T, so I know the day that I got pregnant and conceived. And so when I found out I was actually pregnant, I'll do a whole video on that. I was about 4 weeks pregnant, but actually 3 weeks, because of they manipulated my cycle with a trigger shot, so I actually wasn't as far as long as normal, if that makes sense. But my due date is calculated based off the conceived date, so it's a little confusing, but I'm going to talk about that in a whole different video. So my first symptoms I had really were just kind of cramping, bloating, and there were a lot of side effects from the medications I was on for fertility treatment, so I didn't quite notice much different, to be honest. Up until about 8 weeks, I would say maybe 7 weeks, I didn't have any nausea. I just had some cramping a little bit. I felt like my period was going to come, but nothing different. And then about weeks 7 to 9, I think it was, is when I started experiencing a little bit of nausea. I did vomit for like a week. I had vomiting almost every day. And then after that, it would only be like if I brushed my teeth. So probably weeks between 8 and 9, I think, is when I like vomited like every single day almost. And then like 9 to 11, I was more so, or maybe 9 to 12, I was more vomiting, like only on occasion if I was brushing my teeth at night and like I ate too soon before that and it wasn't like my stomach was too full, or if my stomach was too empty. Like I finally realized, okay, I gotta keep myself full with carbs, and like as soon as I wake up, don't let my stomach get empty, because then you're in this cycle of your stomach's empty, so now you're nauseous, and you're also nauseous because you're pregnant, and now you're more nauseated because of the stomach acid, and then you're gonna throw up, so your stomach's empty again, and it's just this cycle. So once I realized just keep yourself full as much as possible, then it got better. Like I was super lucky with that. It really wasn't that bad as far as vomiting goes. It was only bad for like a week, and I was like, oh my goodness, but The rest of it was only like maybe a couple times a week for the first trimester. And then the second trimester, weeks like 13, which actually I think the first trimester is still week 14 technically. But the second trimester, up until about 27 weeks, 14 to 27 weeks, I was actually feeling pretty good. The nausea, like I said, definitely resolved. But this time around maybe 18 to 22 weeks, I want to say, I started experiencing some interesting symptoms. I guess up until like 14, 18 weeks, I was just had a little bit of round ligament pain on the sides, where I could feel like my uterus was stretching as it started to become above the belly button. Well, started to like lift out of the normal area. So I had some round ligament pain, wasn't too bad, but then like 18 to 22 weeks is when things got weird. I started having a lot of lightning crotch, they call it, and I'm like, why do I have lightning crotch? Like, that's supposed to happen towards the end of the pregnancy, but she must have been like by a nerve or like something. But I was having lightning crotch, which if you don't know what that is, it's kind of like pretty much a shooting pain down your vagine. Like, it's bizarre. I can't explain it. It just feels like a zap, like you've been electrocuted almost. But it's pretty much from the nerves being pressed in that area. Sometimes it would go to your bottom, and then I would get like really just like a lot of pressure. Like we were on our baby moon around, I think it was around 21 weeks, 22 weeks or so, because after the anatomy scan, like a week or two later. It was around that time, and it was absolutely awful. I had tons of pressure down there. Like it felt like she was going to come out. At one point I was actually really concerned that my cervix was dilating. So I think it was around like 18 weeks I actually went into the OB, and they had to check me because the pressure was horrible. Like it felt like someone literally had their fist up there. Sorry, my cat's like trying to get into stuff, so you might hear some weird noises in the background. So then that all subsided around week 22 or 24 or so. It just all of a sudden went away, and I really haven't gotten lightning crotch since. I guess maybe when, I think she dropped already, so I don't know what happened there, but that's some of the weird symptoms I was having. I did have a lot of like skin tag growth, which sounds weird, but I have like a lot of skin tags everywhere. Obviously, you get the linea albiterans nigra. We always have the linea alba or something like between our stomach muscles, and then we get like a dark line because the pigment becomes more dark when we're pregnant, from my understanding. So I got that in the second trimester, and obviously like darkening of your skin around here, and then like I said, lots of skin tags like under my arms, some on my neck, on my belly, like random. I saw other girls have that too. And then another symptom for the second trimester, I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. I've had like low back pain for like 2 days, like really bad, but luckily it wasn't really that bad for me. Or it might have been that week too when I had the pressure down there. I think that's why I went to the doctor, because like I was having horrible back pain, and the pressure down there, so I wanted to make sure. So like around like the 18 to 22 weeks, things were happening. And I think that's really when the baby becomes above your belly button. Like, I think at 20 weeks it's like at the belly button, like the uterus. So I don't know if there's like a lot of changes going on, but it seemed like the girls in the What to Expect group were having the same problems like around that time, and then all of a sudden it just gets better. But everyone's different, obviously, so that's what happened to me. And then the rest of the second trimester was good. Third trimester starts in 28 weeks. For the third trimester, definitely started getting out of breath. Definitely started getting some swelling in my hands and my legs. I thought I was going to be in the clear, but I literally just started getting swelling in my legs a couple weeks ago, and it's really bad. I thought the summer months I would have swelled, but I didn't. And then obviously I'm having some like rib pain now, and just the weight from like my belly. It's just like the muscles are sore here, so it's pulling everything down. I do have night sweats, which started probably the end of the second trimester. Like in the middle of the night, I just wake up sweating. I think that's a hormonal thing. And then just obviously like my stomach's tight. I have some Braxton Hicks every now and again, which if you don't know what that is, it's just kind of like a hardening of your stomach. It's not really painful. And then really it's just out of breath and not being able to bend down, and I don't know, that's not really a symptom, but it's out of breath, swelling right now, having trouble sleeping, I have like insomnia, and just really right now it's like the rib pain, and just my belly is big. She's about to come in a few weeks, less than 30 days, which is amazing. So I'm just feeling large, but I think I've been lucky. I had a couple bumps in the road with the subchorionic hematoma in the beginning, and obviously the COVID thing and whatnot. But I'll get into that in different videos. But I've been feeling obviously uncomfortable, but nothing that's out of the norm. So I've been lucky, and I definitely didn't have that bad of nausea, and I know a lot of women suffer with that, so I can't really complain at all. That being said, I'm going to talk about, for me, these are my pregnancy must-haves as a first-time mom. Obviously, I'm not an expert, and this is just my personal opinion. So I'm going to go through the top things that really helped me get through, since I'm almost finished now. So first things first, you have to have something for nausea to get you through, because most people experience at least a little bit. I use these Gingins. They're little ginger chews, and they were really good. They have different, I think they have different, like a chew and a lozenge. But these worked great for me. They're just ginger, and these actually helped my nausea a lot. The taste is a little weird, but they really worked for me. Like a bag of these, I only bought one bag because I only had it bad for those few weeks. Was probably like $4 or $5 maybe. Like it was super cheap, and these were a godsend. I also bought I bought these first. It was the Pink Stork, which is a pregnancy fertility brand. You can get it at Target. Like peppermint lozenges. I don't have the bags anymore, but I can link them below where I got these. They're both from Target. These were more expensive. I want to say it was like $12, $13, $14, $15, maybe $16 or $20 max for these. The taste was better, but it didn't actually help. Like the taste was good. It was like a peppermint type of thing. I think they had different flavors, but it was not very effective, versus the ginger was effective. So definitely need something for nausea. And I guess I'll kind of go in the order of which I've used things. So that's definitely for a first trimester thing. This too, Pink Stork. I use probiotic gummies for women, or you can use any brand that is a woman-specific probiotic, just because the hormones and stuff keeps everything good with your belly, and helps. Probiotics help your immunity. It's good for digestion, so you don't get constipated and stuff. For hormones, probiotics are good, and also for your vaginal health, because the hormones and everything like that can make things like the pH out of whack. So I definitely recommend a probiotic, specifically women's probiotic during pregnancy, because it helps with all that. And then you have to drink a lot of water, because you want to make sure amniotic fluid's good and stuff. And definitely if you're summer pregnancy, you get dehydrated more easily, but you need to drink lots of water for baby when you're pregnant. So it was kind of hard for me in the beginning when I had a lot of nausea to drink water. I'm a water person. I love it. I'll drink plain water all the time, but when you're nauseous, it just doesn't taste right. Like you want to just get through. My doctor said was like, drink juice, drink Propelled, like drink something, or Gatorade that has a flavor. Like you just have to get through the nausea period. So between the taste and also being good for you, Propel packets. My sister actually told me about these. I was using the bottles for a long time, which was killing me because I hate using like throwaway stuff. So these are great. You can get a Propel packet. You have some hydration in there. And these liquid IVs. Just talk to a hydration supplement. Obviously talk to your doctor about what you're using, because some of them might have things in there that aren't good. You want to keep in mind. But obviously there's nothing wrong with Propel, or liquid IVs are good, but just make sure you don't get no herbal stuff, because that's not good for you. Some type of like Propel or Liquid IV is good to take. And along with other first trimester stuff, I'm trying to think if I have anything else for the first trimester. Oh, I did start using the Mama Butter like the end of the first trimester, just to make sure for preventatives. So any type of lotion, I did read that stretch marks are hereditary. It really doesn't matter if you put cream on. So it's good to keep your stomach moisturized so it's not itchy and dry and stuff like that, and might as well try. But stretch marks are hereditary. So any lotion actually will work. Some people use the oils, but if you keep your skin hydrated, it'll be better for the skin elasticity and everything. So I use this Burt's Bees natural, I think it's a shea butter with vitamin E, and it's 99% natural. Been really loving this. It's almost done. I'm trying not to, I got some samples with some boxes. I'm like, I'm not buying any more stuff. So definitely need that. Moving into second trimester, when you start to get a little bump, definitely, it's kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about showing this to you guys. I'm not going to show too much of it, but get some maternity panties, and I'll link these below from Amazon. They have the strap, not the strap, but the waistband. It's like on an angle and stretchy, so it doesn't cut your belly off, because it was super uncomfortable for me, especially if you're carrying a little bit lower. And then I love these because they have a white cotton liner. Like sometimes your underwear is the same color as, like the liner's the same color as the panties. But it's good because you can see if there's any discoloration with your discharge or bleeding or anything's out of the norm. They specifically make it that way so you can tell what's going on. So I really love those. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm looking below, and my belly was hurting so bad from getting cut off from the regular underwear. I couldn't deal with that. So they have been a lifesaver, and I'm sure they'll be good postpartum. Second trimester must have it too. I got this belly band. They have all different kinds. They have the kind that looks like, it almost looks like a shirt, or not a shirt, but like a skirt that you would just pull up over and just have it over your belly. It's more of a fabric as well. But that one didn't work after your belly gets a little bit bigger, but just something to give you some support. This was helpful for me in the second trimester. Honestly, it hurts now that I'm in the third trimester. It's not helpful. Because I'm still low and stuff. You think it would help, but for me, this is more uncomfortable now, but it was really helpful in the second trimester. And if I'm really walking around the house a lot doing chores, then this does help a little bit for my back support and stuff, but they're hit or miss for people. It had its purpose and time, but it's not something that I can use all the time throughout each stage of the pregnancy. And then another must-have for sure, moving second trimester still. Now, I was debating about talking about this or not, but this pregnancy pillow is like the boppy. Everyone swears by pregnancy pillows. I bought 3 different kinds, and to be honest, I'm not even using any of them right now. This was good for me in the second trimester before my belly got too big. It was really helpful. It supported my hips, because that's what hurts at night when you're trying to lay on your side. And this helps support you and your belly when it's not that big. I thought it was excellent for me in the second trimester. Now that I'm in the third trimester, my belly is so big that it was kind of like the belly part was like too much propping up my belly, and it felt like it was squeezing me. It just didn't work for me. And then the other ones, like the long body pillows, were again better in the second trimester, but like my belly doesn't get supported now, like it's too low, whatever. Just to each their own. I do recommend some type of pregnancy pillow, however, though, either by getting that kind or at least getting multiple pillows, which is what I do now, and having, like, I have one in between my knees, one behind my back. It's a thicker one that helps give my hip support, and then I have one underneath, like a flatter one, that goes underneath my belly, just so I'm not completely flat. Like, so my belly's not pulling when I'm on my side. It just helps keep it propped up a little bit. Not so much where it's like pushing it all the way up towards the other side, but just keeps it kind of in the middle, like that pregnancy pillow was pulling my belly up too far. It felt like the other way. So it just felt like it was twisting down low. So it wasn't working for me. And then this one's kind of silly, but 3rd trimester, you need one of these. I have one of these that my dad got me a long time ago. And it's one of those gifts I'm like, I'm never going to use this. But the grabber has been a lifesaver for me because right now I can't really bend down. If something's on the ground, it's going to have to stay there unless it's an emergency. I'll try to get it. But if I don't have this, it's staying down there until someone can come help. So it's been super helpful not having to bend down and like hurt my belly and smush everything. It's been great. And then lastly is, oh, a couple more things actually. Compression socks. Definitely recommend these in 3rd trimester because, like I said, the swelling has been a little rough lately. So these are great. I'm not really fitting in many of my shoes right now besides Uggs and my slippers. So slippers are a must when you're pregnant too, because your feet will swell up a little bit. And then obviously a lot of people say heartburn, heartburn, heartburn. And I didn't mention that in the symptoms, but that's been really bad. Like, not going what I had been fine for the last, probably the first 8 months, and then the last couple weeks it's been horrible. I've been sleeping on my right side more, so that makes it worse, but I can't sleep on my left right now. But Tom's, Pepsid, talked to a doctor, but my doctor gave me a list of things I'm allowed to take when I'm pregnant. So I know Tom's were on there, Pepsid's on there. 3rd trimester, I think after the 1st trimester you can take Pepsid, but talk to your doctor about any type of medication. But Tom's generally for everybody are definitely safe to take when you're pregnant. And this isn't even Tom, it's like a Target brand, but it's the same thing. You can only take a certain amount, like I think these are 5 or 6 a day. So if you're going beyond that, then that's when you might want to talk to them about the Pepsid or something, because you can't take both at the same time. So I was finding that I needed more, so I take Pepsid once in a while if it's really bad. And I think that's all for my must-haves. Like I said, I'm going to link everything below for you guys, and you can use any products you like, but just some sort of variation of these I think is a really good foundation. Like, you don't need all these. Personally, I don't feel you need all these like gadgets, and I feel like pregnancy and new motherhood, like you get suckered into buying all this stuff, and I'm like, I'm not for it at all. Like, I'm trying to be very minimal, and I like being minimal, and I don't want to have like be wasteful, and I also don't want to have a bunch of clutter and stuff around the house. So these things will help you physically be in a good spot, and I think everything else is just frivolous, but these will make you feel comfortable. In my opinion, they've really helped me, so I wanted to make a video about all that stuff. And again, someone asked me about the symptoms, so I wanted to jump on here. I promise that the nursery tour is coming. I just have to do a couple more things. I'm waiting for something to come in through Amazon that we got, and then I will show you guys later this week, so stay tuned for that. And if you like this content, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. That would mean a lot to me. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!